The internet started buzzing when conversations about Faizon love, legal trouble, and a possible reaction from 50 Cent began spreading across hip-hop circles. Within hours, fans were asking one major question: what really happened behind the headlines? When a situation involves a comedian and actor like Faizon love, plus a figure as outspoken as 50 Cent, people already know the reaction is going to create attention. 50 has built a reputation for commenting on major moments in entertainment, often turning serious conversations into viral discussions. But this time, the focus was not just about a headline. It was about the details, the questions, and the bigger conversation surrounding celebrity, reputation, and how quickly public opinion can change when legal situations become part of the news cycle. Social media began analyzing every update, every comment, and every reaction. Fans wanted to know what was confirmed, what was speculation, and what details were still missing. Because in today's world, a story can explode before the full picture is even clear. And now, as people revisit the situation, one thing remains certain. When entertainment, legal drama, and celebrity reactions collide, the entire industry starts watching. Before the latest conversation started spreading online, both 50 Cent and Faizon love had already built careers that made them recognizable names far beyond one moment or one headline. 50 Cent, born Curtis Jackson, became one of hip-hop's most successful and controversial figures. Coming from Queens, New York, he transformed personal struggles into music that connected with millions of fans around the world. His rise through the mixtape era, his breakthrough album, and his business moves turned him into more than just a rapper. He became a brand, an entrepreneur, and a personality known for speaking his mind. Over the years, 50 Cent created a reputation for reacting to major moments in entertainment with a unique style. Sometimes serious, sometimes humorous, and often unexpected, his comments frequently become part of the story themselves. Faizon love's journey took a different path. Known for his work in comedy and film, Faizon built a career through memorable performances that made him familiar to audiences across generations. His personality, interviews, and opinions on entertainment have often made him a recognizable voice outside of acting. But like many public figures, both men have experienced moments where their words and actions became topics of public discussion. That is the reality of living in the spotlight. Every interview can be analyzed, every statement can create debate, and every controversy can become part of a larger conversation. When legal issues enter that picture, the attention becomes even stronger. Fans begin looking beyond the headline. They want to know the background. They want to understand the timeline. They want to know what led to the situation and how everyone involved responds. This is especially true in entertainment because audiences often feel connected to celebrities they have followed for years. They remember movies, songs, interviews, and moments that shaped their opinions. So when a familiar figure becomes connected to a legal story, reactions can be emotional. Some fans immediately defend the person they support. Others wait for more information before forming an opinion. And many simply try to understand what actually happened. That is where the conversation around 50 Cent and Faizon love became interesting. It was not only about one person reacting to another person. It became a discussion about celebrity culture itself. How public figures handle pressure, how the media presents stories, and how quickly opinions can spread before every detail becomes available. Throughout entertainment history, there have been countless examples of celebrities becoming involved in public debates that go beyond their original careers. An actor's personal situation can become a trending topic, a rapper's comment can become a headline, and a single social media post can create days of conversation. The connection between 50 Cent's outspoken personality and Faizon love's long history in entertainment naturally created curiosity. Fans wondered what would happen next. Would there be a public response? Would more details emerge? Or would the internet move on to the next viral story? But before anyone could understand the reaction, they had to look deeper into how the situation developed and why it attracted so much attention in the first place. As the conversation around Faizon love's reported legal situation gained attention, the biggest question was not only what happened, it was how the story would be interpreted by the public. In the modern entertainment world, legal headlines can spread instantly. Before every detail is confirmed, social media users begin creating theories, sharing opinions, and connecting the situation to previous moments from a celebrity's career. That is exactly what made this conversation grow. Fans started looking back at Faizon Love's past interviews, his outspoken personality, and his long career in comedy and film. They also began discussing how celebrities handle moments when their personal lives become public conversations. Then came the first major twist. The reaction itself became almost as important as the original headline. When a personality like 50 Cent is connected to a trending story, people expect a response. Throughout his career, 50 has become known for commenting on entertainment news, business moves, and celebrity situations. Because of that reputation, even the possibility of a reaction creates attention. Fans began asking, would 50 make a statement? Would he joke about the situation? However, another layer appeared as people started discussing the difference between entertainment reactions and actual legal facts. Online discussions often move at a much faster speed than official information. A rumor can travel worldwide before anyone has time to check the details. A short clip can be removed from context, and a headline can create assumptions that are difficult to change later. This created a bigger debate. Should fans wait for complete information before judging a situation? Or is public reaction simply part of being famous? Different sides had different answers. Some argued that celebrities should expect intense public attention because their careers are built around being visible. Others argued that every person deserves a fair understanding of the facts before being judged by millions of people online. As more people joined the conversation, the story became connected to a larger issue within entertainment: the relationship between fame and privacy. For decades, celebrities have struggled with the challenge of maintaining personal boundaries while living public lives. Today, that challenge is even bigger. Social media platforms allow fans to follow every update in real time. News spreads instantly, and public figures often have to respond before a complete picture develops. That pressure can change how people handle difficult moments. Some choose silence. Some release statements. Others use humor or personal platforms to address the situation. And every choice creates a new reaction. That is what made the situation so interesting to audiences. It was not only about what happened, it was about how everyone responded afterward. As discussions continued, another question started becoming the center of attention. When a celebrity controversy goes viral, who really controls the story? The person involved, the media covering it, or the millions of people online deciding what they believe? And as the conversation grew bigger, the next wave of reactions started revealing an even deeper side of the story. As the discussion continued spreading, the focus shifted from the original headline to something much bigger: how celebrity controversies are created, amplified, and remembered. The second major twist was that the story became a conversation about reputation. In entertainment, reputation can take years to build but only moments to challenge. An actor, rapper, or public figure can spend decades creating connection with audiences, but one viral moment can suddenly change the way millions of people view them. That is why legal situations involving celebrities often become complicated. There are official facts, there are public reactions, and there are personal opinions. All three can move in different directions. As fans continued discussing Faizon Love's situation, many started looking at his entire career instead of only one headline. They remembered his movies, comedy style, interviews, and moments where he shared his opinions about the entertainment industry. At the same time, conversations about 50 Cent focus on his unique role in pop culture. 50 has never been a figure who avoids attention. Whether through music, television, business, or social media, he has built a reputation for being direct and unpredictable. Because of that, audiences often expect him to comment when major stories happen. But this created another interesting question. Does a celebrity reaction add clarity to a situation, or does it create another layer of controversy? That debate happens constantly in modern media. When a famous person responds to another celebrity's situation, the reaction itself can become the headline. Suddenly, people are discussing the response more than the original event. This cycle has become common across entertainment. A story breaks. Fans react. Another celebrity comments. The comment creates another story. And the conversation continues growing. Social media has made that cycle even faster. Platforms reward attention, and controversial topics often receive the most engagement. This means emotional reactions can spread quickly, even when people are still waiting for complete information. Many fans began pointing out that this creates a responsibility for both audiences and media creators. Understanding the difference between confirmed information and online speculation becomes extremely important, because once a narrative takes hold, changing people's minds can be difficult. Another unexpected part of the discussion was how fans connected the situation to previous entertainment conflicts. They compared different moments where celebrities faced public criticism and examined how each person handled pressure. Some believed staying silent was the best approach. Others believed addressing the situation directly was necessary. There was no single answer. Every celebrity has a different strategy. Every situation has different circumstances, and every audience reacts differently. As the conversation continued, one thing became obvious. The story was no longer only about an arrest or reaction. It became a reflection of how modern celebrity culture works. Fame creates opportunities, but fame also creates constant observation. Every decision can become public. Every statement can become analyzed, and every controversy can become part of a person's legacy. The biggest question now was not only what happened next, it was how this moment would be remembered. Would it become another temporary internet debate, or would it become a defining chapter in the public stories of everyone involved? And that question led to the biggest wave of reactions yet. As the conversation reached more people, the emotional reaction from fans became impossible to ignore. What started as a discussion about a legal headline and possible celebrity reactions turned into a much larger debate about fame, accountability, and how the public views entertainers when they face difficult moments. Fans who had followed Faizon for years began sharing their opinion from different perspectives. Some focused on his long career and the impact he has had in comedy and film. They talked about memorable performances. Supporters wanted people to remember the entire career. Critics wanted attention placed on the current situation. And the internet became the place where both sides competed to be heard. Meanwhile, conversations about 50 Cent's involvement continued because fans understood that his reactions often become major talking points. Whether people agree with him or disagree with him, his comments usually create discussion. That is part of the influence he has built throughout his career. But the reaction also showed something important about modern entertainment. Audiences do not just watch celebrities anymore. They analyze them. They follow their decisions. They debate their personalities. And they connect every new moment to the history they already know. Social media comments reflected that emotional divide. Some users discussed waiting for verified information before making conclusions. Others immediately shared strong opinions based on what they believed the situation represented. This difference showed how powerful online conversations have become. A single story can bring together millions of people with completely different experiences and viewpoints. And because of that, every controversy becomes more than a headline. It becomes a conversation about values, about trust, and about how people decide who to believe. For celebrities, these moments can be challenging because public opinion can change quickly. One day, fans celebrate a person's achievements. The next day, they debate their actions. That reality creates pressure that many people outside the spotlight never experience. But the biggest takeaway from the public reaction was that reputation is built over time. A career is made from years of work, relationships, and connections with audiences. And when controversy happens, people often look at the entire story, not just one moment. As discussions continued, fans were left with more questions and answers. How should the public respond when celebrities face legal challenges? How much influence should another celebrity's reaction have? And how will this moment affect the way people view everyone involved? Those questions kept the conversation alive. Because in entertainment, the story rarely ends when the headline appears. Sometimes, the biggest chapter begins afterward. After all the reactions, debates, and conversations surrounding the situation, the biggest twist was how the story became bigger than the original headline. The focus shifted from one legal situation to a much larger discussion about celebrity culture, public judgment, and the power of online narratives. Because in today's world, a story does not end when it is reported. That is often when the biggest questions begin. Fans started looking back at the careers of everyone involved and asking how one moment fits into a much longer journey. For Faizon, the conversation brought attention back to his decades in entertainment, his influence in comedy, and the public image he created over years of work. For 50 Cent, the discussion once again highlighted the unique position he holds in pop culture. His ability to create headlines through his reactions has become part of his public identity. But the final twist was realizing that the internet often creates its own version of every story. Different people see the same situation and walk away with completely different conclusions. One person sees controversy, another sees misunderstanding, another sees a reminder that celebrities are human beings dealing with complicated situations. And that is why these stories continue long after the original moment. The question becomes less about one headline and more about the lasting impact. Will people remember the facts? Will they remember the reactions? Or will they only remember the version that became the most popular online? History has shown that public narratives can change over time. New information can appear. Old conversations can return. And opinions that seem permanent today can look very different years later. That is the unpredictable nature of fame. One moment can create millions of discussions. One reaction can become a headline. And one controversy can become part of a person's legacy. As the conversation continues, fans are still waiting to see what comes next. Will there be more statements? Will new details emerge? Or will this become another chapter in the endless cycle of viral entertainment stories? Because in the world of hip-hop and Hollywood, the spotlight never stays in one place for long. And the next headline is always waiting. After looking at the entire situation, one thing is clear. In entertainment, every story has more than one layer. Behind every headline are people, careers, reputations, and years of history that shape how the public sees a moment. The conversation surrounding Faizon Love, 50 Cent, and the reaction to the situation shows how powerful celebrity culture has become. One event can create millions of opinions, debates, and questions within hours. But now we want to hear from you. What do you think about the way celebrity controversies are discussed online? Do you believe fans should wait for all the facts before forming opinions? Or do you think public figures should expect intense reactions because they live in the spotlight? And what do you think about 50 Cent's influence when he speaks on major entertainment topics? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let everyone know your perspective. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for more hip-hop stories, celebrity news, and deep discussions about the biggest moments shaping entertainment. Because in today's world, a headline can start a conversation, but the people, the reactions, and the history behind it are what keep the story alive. Stay tuned for the next chapter.